Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm 13 News meteorologist Matt Standridge. Want to give you a traffic update, and Chuck's got an update on the forecast, what you can expect. We've got a lot of scattered snow showers still across central Indiana, slowly breaking up to the north and west. When we're taking a look at the road sensors, though, we do have some snow-covered roads, especially once you get off the interstates. Once you get to some of the county roads, some of the rural roads, this blue color shows you where we've got patches of some snow, and that includes much of central Indiana. You get outside of the metro, we've got some snow on some of those roads out in Hamilton County and Madison County. And then even there towards Hancock County, we've had some around Greenfield. Some of the bigger snows that we've had on some of the county roads have been in Hendricks County. They're the north side of Brownsburg, also around Danville and Avon. I want to show you what it looks like outside. So far, we haven't had any major crashes, but things are slow. When you're looking at the traffic flow, how things are moving, a lot of orange and red on the maps. Now, we do have a little bit of a traffic incident on I-69 in the southbound lanes. Stalled vehicle, not a huge deal. However, there on 65 going way up to the north there towards Crown Point and Maryville, huge accident with some semis up there. But we're going to be watching. Travel is going to be difficult later this afternoon and evening. I want to show you what it looks like outside right now. A little bit of snow. We've got some snow on the rooftops there, on some of the grassy surfaces, on some of the trees. Most of the interstates, though, are wet. You get off the interstate, we could have some slick patches here and there. This is what it looks like, I-69. These are the southbound lanes. The headlights coming at you southbound where we do have that stalled vehicle, so causing a little bit of traffic there in Lawrence and into Fishers. And then check this out. This is Madison County, there towards Anderson. Interstate's fine, got some snow blowing around, a little bit hard to see off in the distance. But check out the bridge here, the overpasses. We have had some snow develop and causing some slick spots on some elevated surfaces. So Chuck, we have seen a little bit of accumulation even on some roads, but right now it looks like most of the interstates are doing okay.
Yeah, which is a good thing. And you know, we've got so much that may be happening later on this afternoon that we're going to show you in a moment. I wanted to show you some places that have been affected by the snow this morning. This is Carmel's Chris Kindlemark. Of course, all of that starts on Saturday. They had the Wonder Knock celebration last night. But this does look like a winter wonderland with the ice rink covered with snow and some of the rooftops as well. There are other places, though, that have already had some more snow. This is a look at the Country Club of Indianapolis. Notice that the greens are all covered with about a half an inch of snow this morning and more on the way for later today. Now, this is a look up north. This is where we first started to see the snow coming in this morning near Bunker Hill, Peru, the Mississinawa area. That covering of snow is already being replaced by some cloud cover that's starting to move in. Now, as far as the day is concerned, we're calling this a weather impact alert day. And there's a reason for that. We've already had this one burst of snow that's on its way of moving out of the area within the next hour to hour and a half. Well, we've got another burst of snow that's on the way between noon and 7 o'clock. Now, with that, not only will we experience snow, but 35-plus mile-per-hour gusts. I'm going to show you one computer model that has us getting tonight between 40 and 45 mile-per-hour winds. So that sets for a cold wind chill. Right now, the wind chill in Indy, I believe, is 23. And heavy coats and gloves and hats. Just a couple of days ago, we were almost at 70 degrees here. What a place we live in, huh? Here's the winter weather advisory. 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. This is for basically our entire viewing area today, and there's a reason for that. During this time, we expect snow to be falling. We could have, I don't know if near whiteout conditions would be the proper term, but certainly the snow will be falling, and it'll be coming in horizontally with some of these 40 to 45 mile per hour winds. Now, this is a look at our live Doppler 13 radar this morning, and a couple of things to notice. This is really thinning out in our northern counties. The white that you see on this map, that's indicative of basically snow flurries, a few snow showers blowing around. The blue is a little bit more substantive. So we've seen this along I-70 today, Knightstown over to Greenfield, south to Carthage and Rushville. In fact, much of Rush County is seeing probably the heavier snow that we've seen in the day so far. Nineveh, over to Franklin, we're getting some of the light rain and you know, or light snow, pardon me. And as far as accumulations are concerned, what we're looking at here is about an inch plus. Now, you look at our computer forecast, I'm going to show you this, and you think, hey, we're going to get a lot more than that. And yes, we will. Perhaps 2 to 5 inches. But we're talking about what will accumulate on the ground. So I would say Carmel, Noblesville on north, you're talking an inch to 2, maybe more than that. But the real problem today, along with the snow, will be the wind. This deep area of low pressure on the backside of this, that's where we're going to see the gusty winds. This is a typical January pattern. I know that many of you are familiar with that. These lows drop down from Canada, and then you get these strong winds around them that make for the bitter cold temperatures. So this is one model that we use to forecast with that shows the projected wind speed. So this is 4 p.m., 30 to 38 mile per hour winds. Ooh, going to be snowing there too, so that's going to feel cold. But look what happens is that area of low pressure moves this way. Notice Muncie at 9:30, 6 mile per hour winds. Greencastle, 45 mile per hour wind gusts. That, folks, is pretty darn impressive from a weather standpoint. And I think it's going to be windy maybe till 1 or 2 in the morning, okay? Let me break down the afternoon for you. Remember that the temperatures are going to be on the ground at about 35. That temperature's taken 5 feet off the ground. The snow will fall, though, and I think because it will come down at such a rate, and the wind, that this will stick on some places certainly tonight. Now, here's where we are this morning. The snow starts to move out, so this is 9 o'clock. We won't have much of anything by that, but we're keeping our eyes peeled to the north. Sean Ash is going to be with you today on the noon show. He's not going to have much in the metro area at noon, but about 1 o'clock, here this comes. This is our updated computer model, and I do want you to notice that it's coming in about an hour late compared to the model that we showed you at 4 and 5 o'clock this morning. So this is 4 p.m., widespread snow. This will be rain mixed in Terre Haute, Spencer, places like that. But by 6 p.m., when Angela is with you this evening, she's going to have widespread issues, I'm sure, on the roads, because this is pretty heavy bursts of snow that'll be falling at that point. Now, this is 9:30. Remember, the low's out here, right? So on the backside of this low, you don't have any snow falling. That's gone. But boy, these winds are going to be howling. My concern with that is, especially on east-west roads, you're going to have a northerly breeze or northwest breeze at about 40, 45 miles per hour. And if there's snow on the ground, that's going to get on the roads. And that could be a real problem for some of our rural and county roads. But fortunately, once we get past today, the weather gets a whole lot better, which is a good thing, right? The average high is 50. We will be about 14 degrees cooler than that. And remember, on this weather impact alert day, that area of snow starts to come in after the noon hour today. Windy, misty with some showers, 43. We think we'll be okay for Operation Football in the semi-states. Clouds and sun Saturday, 47. And some of you who still want to mow your yard before Thanksgiving to clean it up, guess who I'm talking about? I'm talking about me, folks. Mostly cloudy, 55 on Sunday for the Colts game, in the 30s for tailgaters, 56 on Monday. Okay, let's get another update on traffic here while we're still on with you this morning. And Matt, what's the latest out there?
I'm going to take you to Hendricks County. That's where it's kind of seemed like we picked up some of the most snowfall so far. Now, I know we're kind of grasping at straws here. This isn't a huge amount of snow. It's a little bit more than a dusting, though. This is a live-looking Brownsburg. Good morning, Purple Dogs. Good coating of snow. This is at North Green Street, where you meet I-74. You go northbound on 267, got some snow all the way through Fayette and into Whitestown and to Zionsville. But the interstates are wet. Even the bridges of the interstates and the overpasses remain wet at this time. But some bridges that are out in the country do have some snow on them. We were looking at some snow on some of those in Madison County. So we're watching those closely. They may melt a little bit in the next couple of hours, like Chuck was talking about, that little break coming in as we thin out the snow, but then they may recover this afternoon and evening as that next burst comes in. But right now, major roads seem to be wet, but don't be surprised if you do come up on a slick spot. And also just expect traffic to move slowly. We're starting to see a little bit of a die down with some of the traffic, just in the volume, just a touch, but it's still very slow. Even when there's not an accident, folks are just taking it easy with some of the snow coming around. This is a live look towards downtown Indianapolis. The skyscraper is just a little bit fuzzy because of the snow that's coming down, so the visibility is knocked down just a little bit. But so far, all these interstates, you're on the east side of the city, you can either hop on 65 and go north, or hop onto 65 and go south, and I-70 west. So far, it looks okay. When we're looking at the road sensors, we still have some blue on the map. Those shows you some patchy snow places that we have on some of these roads out there this morning. So just make sure you keep it slow and you just look out ahead of you. Give yourself some extra time. But most counties around kind of the donut of Indianapolis, other than we haven't seen as much there in Morgan County around Martinsville. But once you get to Greenwood and Center Grove and Franklin, we got a little bit of snow on some of the roads once you get outside of town, and some of the county roads that we have just all across central Indiana, a little bit of snow on them this morning. The blue icon you see, a traffic incident, just a stalled vehicle there on I-69 south before you get to Benford Boulevard or 465. Otherwise, we don't have too many crashes out there, but it is a little bit slow, and things may turn a little bit more slow later this afternoon. Like Chuck was just talking about, that big burst of snow that'll come in later today after the lunch hour. We're going to have several updates with the whole weather team throughout the day as we track the next round of snow that is coming in from the north. That bigger burst is coming right down Lake Michigan, likely to cause more snow than we just got, probably 2 to 3 times the amount of impacts than we had with this first round of snow. But we're going to be watching the road sensors because we think even more roads are going to become snow covered later this afternoon during that drive home from work and school. It could get a little rough in spots and may get a little bit slow. So just kind of build in extra time throughout the second part of your day as you're trying to come home, because things may be slick. What we think so far is interstates may be moving okay, but they may start to get slow, especially around some of the curves and some of the bridges and overpasses where those could create slick spots on the interstate. But with the interstates right there with the ground, a little bit harder to completely snow cover. But once you get outside the city, you know, Chuck was talking about some of these stretches, I-69 coming out of Indy and I-65 coming out of Indy. They can get pretty rough. We do have a big accident on 65 once you get towards Maryville. So probably on 65, expect more backups throughout the day. So we're going to be watching this very closely. Stick with the weather team. We'll have several updates. Make sure you keep it here, keep it local. As always, we'll keep you advised.